Hi, welcome to Libby's Movie Hunt. I'm your host, Libby Hunt, along with my producer and co-host, Kevin E.
Hey, Libby, how are you? Happy New Year.
Good. Happy New Year to you. And I loved that I couldn't be here last week because I had a holiday, that your mom and brother filled in. That was so much fun.
Yes, thank you for letting them do that. They had a lot of fun.
They were so cute. John Eveline and Carol Eveline, thank you for filling in. And he did not plug himself enough. Your brother John.
He didn't. He was surprisingly soft-spoken, kind of quiet.
I don't know him well, but I know he's an actor in L.A., and I was like, this is a good time for self-promotion.
Yes,
that's always
absolutely.
kind of hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
Let's promote him. So he's on what? John Eveline.
You can find him on The Gay and Wondrous Life of Caleb Gallo. It's an internet web series, so every episode is on YouTube, as well as the web series Stupid Idiots. You can also find on YouTube. Just search for anything. Brian Jordan Alvarez is a producer for both, so if you look him up, you should be able to find him, and all those episodes are available there.
That's so much fun. Well, good. Well, they did a great job. That was fun, but I've missed being here. But I went to the beach, Miami, so that was fun.
Very nice.
I read 3 books in 4 days. How fun is that?
That is very fun.
So relaxing.
How was the beach?
Oh, it was warm, beautiful, and it was getting cool this week, so I'm glad we hit it right in time. The people watching in my South Beach, Miami is just
epic. It has to be awesome. Yeah.
It's topless, by the way. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
But hardly any women were topless. So many foreign people, lots of Germans, lots of French. One day, though, a man was walking down the beach in like a onesie bathing suit with angel wings on. You see stuff like that.
Like a women's one-piece swimsuit almost?
Yes.
That is a little peculiar.
Interesting. Yes, it was very. How does the color look on here? We're looking good?
I think we look good.
Okay. All right. We were making some little adjustments today.
We're always making little adjustments. You know?
Okay. So, Kevin, I'm so pumped. The movies, good films are here finally.
They are here.
You know, to me, it felt like wasn't a great year. I mean, it's been some good movies in throughout the year.
Yeah, like there were some high points peppered in, but yeah, for the most part, it was kind of lackluster. It has.
So now I don't even have a time to see all the good movies that are out. But let's start with, and I also want to talk about my top 20 list that I put on Libby's Movie Hunt Facebook, Instagram, and I need to put it on my website.
And I'm so glad you put Last Jedi on there, by the way.
Yes, it made it. It's way down there, but it made it. It would have been probably your top 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, let's start with The Post, the much anticipated film directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks, who have never been on the screen together. Everybody's been excited about that.
I didn't even know that. But
they've never.
Wow.
So that's fun. 2 iconic movie stars. Before we even start talking about it, do you want to roll a clip?
Sure, let's roll it.
Okay. The Post. Do you have any desire to see this film?
I will see till the end of time any Steven Spielberg film. Right. So yes, absolutely. And he always does a great job with period pieces. And it looks really good. That was a very intense trailer.
Well, okay, I was really excited about it. I saw it last night, and they got it out. Apparently, it's only in a few theaters right now, and actually, it was put in theaters the week or 2 ago, so it can be considered before 2017 for the Academy Awards. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people hadn't seen it yet because it won't be on their 2017 list because it's not in every theater, you know. Right. But critics possibly, but I had not had a screening of it. But it's the story of the first female publisher of a major newspaper, Kay Graham, played by Meryl Streep, and her editor, Ben Bradley, who plays Tom Hanks. And basically they're racing in competition with the New York Times. They're racing to catch up with the New York Times. And there's been this massive cover-up of the Vietnam War that spans like 3 decades. So that's all a fascinating story. And then after that, Watergate. Well, I mean, I didn't love it.
I think it has the potential, just from the trailer, to possibly be a little long and boring. I mean, it kind of just looks that way, almost like All the President's Men.
I didn't love it. It got 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let me tell you, before I tell you more about it, who all is in it. This is what you'll like about it. All-star cast. You've got, obviously, Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, Bruce Greenwood. He plays Robert McNamara. He is like an actor that he always plays Bobby Kennedy, or Jack Kennedy. You know who I'm talking about?
Totally.
His latest thing he's done right now is he's on a Netflix original series called Gerald's Game that's really good. Bruce Greenwood. Tracy Letts is in it. He's the father in Lady Bird, that film that I love that's out right now.
Yes.
He's in everything. Sarah Paulson plays Hank's wife. Okay, this is what connection you'll like. Bob Odenkirk from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
And Jesse Plemons.
Oh, of course, Todd.
Todd. They're both in it, and they have great roles. In fact, Bob Odenkirk's a very pivotal person in this film. Bradley Whitford's in it. And then this is so fun. I did not put this together at all. If you're watching Ramona Sands, one of my husband's cousins' children is in it, Stark Sands.
Oh, very cool.
He plays Meryl Streep's son. And so Star is my husband's cousin. He was most well known for originating the role on Kinky Boots on Broadway. He won a Tony for it. But he's also, there was a spinoff of a Tom Cruise, Steven Spielberg movie that was a TV show last year about the future.
Minority Report?
Yes. He starred in the TV series Minority Report. Stark also, what else has he been in? Flags of Our Father. I don't know, lots of, wait, there's one more. I can't remember what else he's been in, but he's been in a ton of stuff. But I mean, it is a great, look at that. I mean, that's a
nice resume there, yeah.
No, but of all these stars too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Actors. But
a huge assortment of stars, but sometimes that can plague a movie if you're not careful.
I know.
If you try to cram too many stars in.
But okay, so I did my top 20 list on 2017, and I didn't have it on there because I hadn't seen it. And if I had to do my list over again, I would put it as a top 20, but it wouldn't be in my top 10. Yeah.
Yeah?
And I think Meryl Streep could be nominated. Tom Hanks plays Ben Bradley, and I don't think he played him tough enough. I think Ben Bradley was a really tough
a little more hard
editor, and I think Tom Hanks played that soft. But if anybody's nominated out of that group, I think it'll be Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
I give the movie, should we put up there, popcorn worthy? Ta-da! But it should have some Oscar nominations.
And you may have already mentioned this. I'm just, what's the Rotten Tomatoes score for the Post?
87%.
Oh, yeah, very, very solid.
But I bet it's changed today since more people have seen it.
Well, yeah, and the audience rating. I mean, as we know, if one thing we've learned from The Last Jedi is that the audience can be totally different.
Exactly. It was good though. I mean, go see it. It's up there. Go see it. But I didn't absolutely love it like I wanted to. Like you said, All the President's Men was good, and you're glad you saw it, and it's kind of, But
if I'm scrolling through movies to turn on one night, I'm never going to pick that as one to pop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to talk about Insidious?
We can talk about Insidious. I don't want to spend too much time on it. So this is the fourth installment of the series. There was chapter 1, 2, and 3, and then this one is sort of a one-off. It's not a chapter that's concurrent with the original. It's the last key, but it does feature this central character from the third movie. Character's name is Elise, and I only remember that not because the movie's memorable, because that's my girlfriend's name.
Are any stars in it that we know, or horror films don't really have to have them? They still always do well.
Exactly, and I can't think of the actress's name who plays the main.
And she's been in all of them.
She's been in all of them, but the original two had Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne, which were really good on screen together. I mean, I just want to say, preface before I give this movie too hard a time. The first two Insidious movies were great. Don't get me wrong. I really liked them, especially 2. I rarely like a horror sequel as much as the first, but I think I did. But before I give my review, you want to roll a clip?
Roll a clip.
So as you can kind of see over the trajectory of these movies, Elise, the older woman, the clairvoyant, has become basically the main character.
Is she the one that was in Jeepers Creepers that played the old lady? Kind of looks like her.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Could be, yeah.
Well, I thought this movie also maybe was tied into those Annabelle creation movies, but it's not.
No, Annabelle's a spinoff of The Conjuring.
Okay, that's it.
But I mean,
you explained all that to me one time, and I was so intrigued because I was like, I didn't put all that together, and I so put it together now.
Yes, and they're making another spinoff from The Conjuring of the story of the nun. So
that'll be good.
That one will be good too.
But Insidious, is this the one where it has some creature that like crawls backwards on the ceiling? One of the first ones that was really scary. One of the first people to do that.
I think so. I mean, they had this whole concept of basically people who are enlightened in their mind and kind of have telepathic type powers that they can transport themselves to this other world where all the demons and spirits live, called the Further. And that's where all of these entities hide in the homes, where they go to investigate. And it's not that it's a terrible movie. If this had been, say, the second or third one, I probably wouldn't be so hard on it. But the fact is, you've seen all of this before.
Exactly.
The scares, the story, the further, everything, it's all very familiar to the point that it's just not scary
Were you scared?
anymore.
You say you weren't scared.
No. I mean, and I can watch the first Insidious and still find it scary and creepy and eerie. And it still has some of that. There's some, jump out at you type scares, loud noises and creepy things like that. That's still kind of good for a scare. But overall, it's lame. It's just like what happened with the Paranormal Activity series.
Oh, exactly. That got bad. Well, the trailer looks good.
The trailer was good. I mean, all the elements that you like are there, except you don't have James Wan directing. This one's directed by the original creator, the writer. You don't have Patrick Wilson. You don't have Rose Byrne. Elise Rayner is pretty much the only recurring character. But as far as the further and the scares and the creepy stuff, that is all there, but it's just not that scary anymore.
What's James Wan known for? Another film, more horror films, isn't he? Or is this his thing?
He did Insidious 1 and 2.
I know, we'll have to look him up.
And then I'm trying to think who
But
it was
it's kind of horror films, isn't it?
Saw. I'm going to say it was someone
I feel like it is.
I think James Wan did the original Saw.
We'll look that up.
We'll look that up.
But, okay, well, there's so many good movies, I probably will pass on that one.
I would go ahead and pass on it. I mean, if it's the horror movie season and you want to do like an Insidious marathon or something, sure, go ahead and throw it in. But don't go out of your way to see it.
Well, like someone's like, are you going to see Pitch Perfect or Father Figures? And I'm like, there's so many good, normally I would probably. There's so many good movies out now. I'm like, I'm not even going to waste my time on those.
Yeah, absolutely skip Father Figures.
Yeah, oh yeah, you saw it and you're like, oh.
Yes.
I'm so sad because it has such good people.
Oh, I know, and it's hands down, in my opinion, one of the most forgettable films of 2017.
That's so sad. That makes me sad for those stars. Oh well.
But I can't give it full on.
Okay, give it a rating.
I'm not going to give a bag full of kernels because it's not horrible. It still is. There's some entertainment. It's a short runtime, and it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and call it half pop.
Okay. I love the music. It sounds like Paramount or something.
Yeah, totally. The intro to a movie.
I love it. I might actually go see this over Pitch Perfect or Father Figures if I'm in the mood to see a movie one day, just because I've seen about everything.
Yeah, and, to me, it is still fun to go see horror films.
Do you think I would like this over Pitch Perfect and Father Figures?
Father Figures, yes. Pitch Perfect, I can't say because I mean, if you're a fan of the other ones, and
I am, but everybody's like this third one is.
Everyone's kind of hating on the third one, so I would say yeah.
Maybe.
I know it's kind of a weird time of year for horror films, but
it is kind of weird.
If you're really in the mood for good horror and you want to wait out, I don't know if it'll be good, but I would wait for Strangers Pray at Night.
Oh, I can't wait. We can't wait.
That's
for
like
that.
10 years in the making.
Liv Tyler did that other one. That you and I have talked about this before, but you really need a big name to sell most films. It's and for horror films, you don't. You really don't. It doesn't matter. People love them. They sell. They go on Netflix. They're watched. It's the weirdest thing.
Very true. In fact, I almost immediately have a little more respect for a horror film that's when it has no names. I like that.
I know. Then it's kind of fun. Okay, we're going to now talk about. Or you want to say? You said you wanted to keep it short and sweet on
I've
Insidious.
said my piece on Insidious.
Moving on. Yeah. The best film of 2017, and the best film I think I've seen in a while is Molly's Game, and I can't believe it. Directed by Aaron Sorkin, who, come on. He wrote The West Wing. He directed Steve Jobs. He wrote The Newsroom and directed it. Moneyball, Social Network, Charlie Wilson's War. It goes on and on. In The Newsroom, they say there's, I can't think of his name right now. He was in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels has that one monologue that they say is the best 5 minutes ever on TV. Google it.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's really good.
The America's Not Great Anymore monologue.
It's a great monologue.
The greatest country in the world, that's what it is.
But this movie is the quickest 2 hours and 20 minutes I have ever sat through. Like, I've seen it twice. I could see it a third and fourth time. It moves. It's such a fast clip. The story is a true story. It's about Molly Bloom, this brilliant. She was a professional skier, and then went on to run the biggest, highest stake poker game in the world.
I'm really bummed that I haven't seen this one yet, just because I know this is.
You're gonna like it.
It's right up my alley. I love these kind of true stories.
It's gonna remind you. I mean, it's got a little mix of Wolf of Wall Street, these kind of Guy's World but a girl. I love being.
Yeah.
It's good. But we'll show a clip. Let me tell you all who's in it. Jessica Chastain, or is it Chastain?
Chastain, I think.
She plays Molly Bloom, and I think she is just beautiful. She's been around probably a decade, but I think she's getting more and more juicier roles.
Yes, more mainstream.
She was always kind of the side. Remember years ago in A Tree of Life, Terrence Malick movie with Brad Pitt? That's where
I do remember that.
First time I saw her. But she is, I think she's our Meryl Streep. You know, she's just great. Idris Elba is her attorney.
Always love Idris Elba.
And I'm, you know, you had brought up, and I couldn't think who he was at the time when we did a talk recently, that he might be the new James Bond.
Everyone in the world wants him to be James Bond.
That's got to happen, except he needs to fix his bottom teeth.
Well, he says he won't do it because he thinks he's too old. But
Fixing his teeth or playing James Bond?
playing James Bond.
Oh, no, he needs to be. Oh, my gosh. I just love him. Kevin Costner plays Jessica's, Molly Bloom's father.
Larry Bloom.
Larry Bloom. Michael Cera from Superbad.
Yeah.
Plays someone in the game who is a movie star. Jeremy Strong's in it. Chris O'Dowd. He was the funny Irish guy in Bridesmaid.
Oh, of course.
So this cast is great, but this is based on a true story, and I wanted in her book, Molly Bloom's book called Molly's Game. I think that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure. She does name 4 people that were in her game. She would never name the other people that were in it because they got indicted or something. But they say one of them was Ben Affleck because the movie stars. We're talking Saudi Arabian princes, financial people. All these people played in this game, and she names some names. So I'm going to buy the book now.
Yeah, definitely.
So, we didn't show a clip yet. I've talked too much.
Oh, got it ready
Should
to go?
we? Okay, let's. Wow. I don't think that trailer or clip just even gives it justice.
Doesn't do it justice.
We saw in that clip that it said Aaron Sorkin, that was his first director debut. But
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
directed TV.
And I know he's primarily a writer, but I figured for sure he had done other
did
directing
too.
jobs. I did not know that up until seeing that trailer just now.
But I'm going to give it completely Oscar worthy, like over the top on every level. Oh, I love it when we get one of those.
There we go. It's been a while.
Yay. Not many people get these movie hats. Oscar worthy.
Oh, I guess this time of year we've been giving it out more often
I know.
than we were
than we
before.
usually do. We usually do. It's that fun time of year. But yes, y'all go see it. Okay, let's tell. How are we doing on time?
We got about 5 minutes.
Okay, we'll make this real brief then. Y'all talked about All the Money in the World last week. Christopher Plummer.
Yes.
I have it right up there as either number 2 or 3 on my top 20 list. I loved it.
I thought it was very good.
You don't even have to roll we won't even roll a clip. Directed by Ridley Scott, who, I mean, he's old.
Yeah.
Michelle Williams is she'll be nominated for sure. Oh, you haven't seen, you did see it.
I did see this.
Well, so what did you say about it? Did you give it?
The only thing I found it really entertaining. The only thing I found somewhat distracting, and it's only because it was in my head, is the fact that I knew Kevin Spacey had been taken off this project and that they reshot the whole thing with Christopher Plummer in 9 days. So when I saw like a really compelling scene or just like great acting, I'm like, how many times did it take him to do that? Yeah, like to just do that once? It's something that's in the back of my mind, but it didn't take anything away from the movie at all.
But can you believe how much he is in the film? He carries that film really, and
he's the focal point of the whole movie.
And he's going to be nominated for sure and win, I think. And I saw a clip of Kevin Spacey as Getty.
Yeah,
he didn't look good. His makeup looked terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm glad they replaced it.
Well, that's one thing that I saw that trailer and it was distracting because it was such heavy makeup. Where Christopher Plummer is already the proper age, so
the only thing is they showed him at a younger age, and he is like almost 90. So it was.
Yeah.
You're like, you're a little stretched there.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the guy who plays his 16-year-old grandson, his last name is Plummer too. Is it his grandchild?
Ooh, I don't know.
It didn't say when I looked it up. Obviously, Mark Wahlberg plays the guy who.
Yes, what's his Fletcher? I want to say his character name. Something like that.
Chase Fletcher, something. Great name.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Hutton was in it. I love Timothy Hutton. Seeing him in anything. So I give it Oscar worthy. Some definite nominations, but you don't have to show that.
Yeah, may as well.
Okay. Oh my gosh, love it. We'll touch on I, Tonya. Did y'all didn't talk about that either?
My mom did.
Yes.
But I have not seen it.
A week goes by and I forget so much. What did she give it?
I don't remember.
She liked it.
She really liked it, yeah.
I was very surprised. The only thing with that, and this is what's interesting to me. All the Money in the World, The Post, I, Tonya, Molly's Game are all based on true stories.
Yeah.
Love that.
They're all very similar in that.
Very similar. I, Tonya, though, and Molly's Game, what they both do in those is they try and make Tonya and Molly better people than they are.
That's exactly, because I remember my mom saying that they totally paint Tonya Harding as a victim in this.
Complete and total.
Which is not at all how I remember that story.
But no, it's very good. She could be nominated. Margot Robbie, possibly. I think the directing was amazing in it. All the Money in the World, the only thing, I've read a book about Getty, and they made him look worse than he really was.
Yeah. Oh, they make him a monster.
Oh, my gosh.
They make him horrible.
You could tell they took way dramatic license in a lot of that stuff.
Well, they heavily victimized Michelle Williams.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she ends up running the company or whatever, the kingdom of the Gettys. So, I don't know. But
after they're, long since separated and divorced and all that.
I know, which was interesting.
It was kind of weird, but yeah.
But I think I, Tonya, will get some awards, too. Okay, real briefly. I don't know if you wrote yours down, but I wrote mine down, my top 20. Should I read them out real quick?
I would read them out. I'm not going to do mine yet just because it'd be premature because I have to see Molly's Game and I, Tonya first.
Okay. Well, these are supposed to be in order, but now that I've written it down, I should have thought about it a few more days because I would move some around. But Molly's Game, for sure, is number 1. The Disaster Artist, 2. You like that?
That was the biggest surprise on there for me.
Right. I was just highly entertained by that film. I think I love it so much because I love the movie business, and it's about a movie being made about a movie.
Yeah.
So I love that.
And it's one I think you can watch over and over.
Oh, totally. I could see it like 5 times. James Franco, I hope he'll be nominated. Comedies usually aren't, but he was so good.
Very true.
When you consider it a comedy?
Yes.
All the Money in the World I have 3rd, and I might switch that around. I put Darkest Hour and Baby Driver next. I might flip those. I think I maybe like those better. I have It in my top 5. No, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 6. It.
Yeah, I think it would comfortably make my top 10 for sure.
I, Tonya, Lady Bird, Dunkirk. Those are my top 10. Then I go, but this is hard. Like The Greatest Showman, if I had room, I'd probably bump that up to 10. Loved it. I've seen it twice, and I'll see it a 3rd time. If you love musicals, Hugh Jackman. The music gets better each time I've seen it. Highly recommend. The Big Sick, that comedy with Ray Romano.
Yes, I think we're going to see some definite.
Please, it's so good.
Some wins from that one.
Wind River, your mom will be happy about that. I have mine on my list. 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. I have that on there mainly because Frances McDormand is just, she's a god. She was great. I have Wonder Woman. I think a lot of critics wouldn't agree with me, but I loved Logan Lucky.
I loved that. I was going to say that's hands down in my top 10.
It's on my 20. Then I next under that Star Wars, which I probably could bump up. Critics probably won't agree with Murder on the Orient Express and Atomic Blonde, but I was very entertained by both of those.
Yeah.
And then my last one, nobody saw, has Nicole Kidman and Colin Firth. Isn't he from the Australian dark hair? Is it Firth? Colin.
Yeah, Colin Firth. He was in Kingsman 2 recently. So.
Right,
yeah.
dark hair. It's called The Killing of a Sacred Deer, and I think we talked about it.
That's right. Is Colin Farrell in that?
Colin, the young guy. There's a Colin, another. I think it's Colin Farrell.
Okay.
Yeah. The Killing of a Sacred Deer, it is a wild film. It's the guy who did that Lobster movie last year with Colin, too, that everybody was like, what?
What is that? Yeah.
But the director reminds me so much of the guy, The Shining.
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick. I'm losing words today. So that's in my top 20.
See, the one thing I'm surprised it didn't make your top 20, because it will definitely be in mine, and probably my top 10 is American Made.
Okay, see, I probably think I kind of forgot about that one. It should be in my top 20.
But that says something. You should go with your first instinct, because if you didn't think of it, then it's not as memorable as you thought.
I really liked it, but it's not as memorable. You're right. It isn't. So that's true. Good point. Okay, so I've been reading these critics, real critics, or I guess I'm a real critic now.
Absolutely.
They're putting that horrible movie Mama in their top 5 or 10.
I've seen Shape of Water in their top 10 as well.
No, okay. Any criticism I've gotten on Facebook or Instagram is, why don't you have The Shape of Water? In fact, an actor wrote on their Facebook page the other day, I don't trust any list that doesn't have The Shape of Water on it. And
That sounds pretentious.
Did not like it.
I have no interest in seeing it.
I just, the acting's great, but it's just a weird movie, and I like weird movies, and I didn't like it. So, But you're not going to give us your list yet.
No, not yet. But don't
Okay.
don't succumb to the pressure. Keep it off your list.
Okay. But, okay, we had a lot to talk about today. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I know. I think we've actually been gone a little long.
I know we went long.
Oh,
but
well.
As always, thanks for tuning in. We're here every Friday at 3 o'clock. See y'all next Friday. Enjoy the movies.